what a day it was. NFC teams dominated the top. Look at, put your notebook away. We're on the air, Sims. What are you doing?
I just wanted to look at some context of some things.
He's ready to go. He's got copious notes for Chris Sims as usual.
Copious.
It was a great day.
It was an awesome day. It really was. I mean, starting off with that San Francisco-New Orleans game, I mean, it was back and forth. Two best teams in football going at it. That was amazing. Sunday Night Football last night, the Rams, what they did, saying they're never dead yet out of this conversation. The Seahawks kind of lay an egg. I mean, it was a great day, not let alone in the AFC. We had the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots, and New England lost at home in December. Like, that doesn't happen. So
we're on to Cincinnati. They literally are on to Cincinnati.
It was a crazy day. Yeah, they got Cincinnati this week?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, perfect. But the NFC playoff field right now is so jumbled, and it's changing week to week. The Saints were the 1 seed. Now the 49ers are the 1 seed. The Seahawks were the 2 seed. Now they're the 5 seed. And the Packers are the 2 seed. Oh, Aaron Rodgers may end up getting a bye out of all of this. It really is crazy to see what happened. And here's the thing, too. Seahawks, 49ers, and Saints, they've all played each other.
Right.
The road teams are 3-0.
Wow.
So maybe home field advantage.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not going to matter as much as it would in past years, although it's still nice to have.
That bye week is what they want.
It's nice to have you for 2 hours. Pro Football Talk Live. It gets rolling right now. Monday edition of Pro Football Talk Live, NBC Sports Radio, NBCSN. Hello to our good friends in the UK and in Ireland enjoying the program on Sky Sports. 14 Sundays done. Only 3 left, careening toward the conclusion of the NFL's 100th season, if you haven't heard. Have you heard it's the NFL's 100th season?
I have.
But this could be a great finish to the regular season, and then a spectacular jumble of teams heading into the postseason with no idea who's going to emerge. There's really no clear, absolute, yes, that team is gonna be there in February.
No, I think there's 3 or 4 teams that are in that conversation, which kind of makes it refreshing. I mean, I think we would both agree right now the Ravens are the best team in football.
They are.
But we worry, right?
Or you never know. You never know.
Sure.
All it takes is, I don't want to jinx him, but if Lamar Jackson gets injured, that changes everything.
Sure.
He's got 3 regular season games left to avoid injury. They got a short week Thursday night against the Jets, but yeah, and they got a big game coming up against the Steelers.
Yeah.
Week 17,
right.
They go to Cleveland and face the Browns, one of the only teams that have beaten the Ravens this year.
I mean, if they have to play the Patriots for a second time, they're 0-2 versus the Chiefs the last 2 years. So there's some matchups out there that you go, okay, yeah. But to your point, it does seem like there's it's up for grabs this year.
I mean, we know who the best teams are.
Yeah.
But among the best teams, we don't know. And it feels like there's more of those teams that fall into that elite category than usual, even though there is maybe some separation with the Ravens in the AFC and a little bit with the 49ers in the NFC.
Right.
It's just there's a sense that anything can happen. Yeah. And I like that. That's what the NFL wants. They want as many teams to be alive for as long as possible. And you want every team that gets a ticket to the playoff party to feel like they can run the table. And I'm not, the Cowboys or whoever wins the NFC East, forget about them. But you think the Cowboys are talented enough they can figure it out? Even they could make things interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, even if they just got their mojo going and got on a hot streak, they'd be a team they go watch out for because of the talent they have. But, in the NFC, yeah, of course, I look at the 49ers, the Saints in a class of their own with the Seahawks nipping, right at their heels there. And really Green Bay, who's now the 2 seed, I look at them as the 4th best team in the conference. I really do.
I think the Vikings are better than the Packers.
Mike, I'm not going to disagree with you. I think it's a complete team, I'd probably take the Vikings as well. Yes.
The Packers keep winning somehow.
Right,
they keep finding a way to win,
right.
and they screwed around with Washington yesterday.
Yes.
But I think overall, player for player, the Vikings are a better team, and it feels like they may be destined for a wild card matchup. They're destined for a Monday night matchup in 2 weeks. But let's focus on that 49ers-Saints game. And it's funny. It's funny.
Right.
Last year, when the Rams and the Chiefs play a game that finishes 54-51, it's set defenses back 100 years. Yesterday's game was 48-46, and I haven't heard anybody complain that it sets defense back or it's back. I mean, if I'm a fan of either the 49ers or the Saints, I'm troubled today even if I'm a 49ers fan, my defense gave up 46 freaking points. That's not good.
No, you're right. And it's funny that, there isn't that complaint. And even from me, I don't feel like there's a complaint. I guess a little bit what's different about these two teams compared to the Chiefs and Rams is just a little more dedication to the run game in general. But either way, that was a back-and-forth game. I don't love those type of football games. As exciting as that was, I don't love it, even though that was great to watch yesterday. I'm not going to deny that.
What don't you like about it? At what point is it too much scoring for you?
Once you get past like the mid-30s, I feel like it goes a little crazy. But like I could appreciate it yesterday. This is what's different about the Rams and the Chiefs. So much of it was unbelievable play design by the other two. Last year, I felt like guys were just running straight in the Rams-Chiefs game. They're like, whoa, they're open. It was like more bad defense. I guess yesterday I saw more genius play calling and scheming by Peyton and Shanahan that made the game like, holy cow, look at the design of that play. Wow, that was unbelievable. So I think that's the big thing. And for me, the big thing of that game in general, if I just had to hit one headline, it would be Jimmy G. Again, it's not that he played great in a big moment. That's what I'm saying. He did. He played great in a big moment. And I know some of the completions were easy to be had.
Because Shanahan is designing the
exactly,
plays,
but
right?
he's not the first quarterback in the history to have a good.
But don't we want to see Garoppolo in a spot where the play that was drawn up didn't work the way it was supposed to?
You mean like this one and the touchdown he's about
blanketed.
to Oh no, this is the scramble. Okay, this is the penalty.
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
But I want to see almost like the catch. I mean, it kind of started to look like
it did.
Nothing's there. You roll out and you make something out of nothing. All right, let's see. We're watching it here on NBCSN for those of you on the radio.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Give him a little credit.
I'll give him a little credit on that one.
Mike will give you a little credit on that one. Where you scrambled to the left and made it in the pocket for
Make
5
that
seconds.
throw with the game on the line, and then I'll give you your crown. But the throw with the game on the line, the George Kittle play, and you had a great Instagram breakdown of it yesterday, and Peter King tells the story of how the 49ers called a timeout. Kyle Shanahan didn't like the formation, didn't like the play. He thought I could come up with something better.
Right.
So at the very last second, just as Jimmy Garoppolo is getting ready to call the snap and the play clock's about to go to 0, they call the timeout, they change the play, and they come up with this bunch formation on the left that springs Kittle open, and then he does the George the Animal Steel routine down the sideline. He's getting face masked, and he drags the guy 20 yards. Ends up on the 14-yard line. Just amazing. What a play. And let me say this.
Yeah, say it. It's all right.
The contrast between 4th and 2 in that spot and what Kyle Shanahan came up with, and 4th and 3 last Monday night and what the Vikings came up with for Kirk Cousins.
Exactly right.
What a difference.
Right.
What a difference.
Right. That play right there had a lot of answers, okay? Even if they decide to double a George Kittle in that scenario, there's still 2 or 3 other places that, okay, they've doubled Kittle. Hey, Jimmy Garoppolo, I've taught you through our week to go to this and this now off of that. And that's where it's different than your Vikings play that we talked about last week against the Seahawks to win the game. But
you put Cousins in that spot, he makes that throw.
No doubt about it.
For the
You're
49ers.
Right. You're right. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh my gosh, what a special throw by Jimmy Garoppolo. But nonetheless, he got it done. 4th and 2, throws a good, accurate ball to where Kittle can turn it up the sideline and make something of it. And it just goes back to the genius of Kyle Shanahan with his play call and play design. He just got so many wrinkles, formations, pre-snap motions and shifts to throw your defense's head and all over the place. Where's it going? And Sean Payton, too. It's no different over there. But Kyle's maybe a little more crazy behind the line of scrimmage. But I just think that one of our big questions was, can Jimmy Garoppolo really come through in those type of moments when the run game isn't just absolutely dominating? The run game was really good, don't get me wrong, but I still think it's a good stepping stone for him, the team, the fan base to all say, oh, this is our guy. He can take us to the promised land when we need him to.
His stats were almost identical to Drew Brees. They both had 349 yards passing. Garoppolo had 4 touchdown passes. Brees had 5, and Brees had an up and over the top touchdown at the goal line. 29 of 40 was Brees. 26 of 35 was Garoppolo. They both played really well.
Yes.
They both did. It was just one of those games where somebody had to lose.
Yeah.
And, it's nothing to be ashamed of if you lose that game. But what a difference, though. Saints go from 1 seed to 3 seed. And the 49ers rocket from 5 to 1 when you couple it with the Seahawks loss on Sunday Night Football. And the 49ers are right where they want to be now.
Yeah.
And again, even though the 49ers have beaten the Saints in New Orleans and the Saints have beaten the Seahawks in Seattle and the Seahawks have beaten the 49ers in San Francisco, kind of, killing that whole home field advantage notion, you still want to have home field advantage in the playoffs. You want to have the week off.
Yes,
you want to force people to come to you.
The big thing is the bye week, no doubt about it, because it just gives your team a chance to get back to 100% and allows you to put the pedal to the metal just that much harder when it becomes divisional playoff time. And the San Francisco 49ers are a team especially where I look at to where that could be important for them this year because they had the early bye week, right? They had the week 4 bye week this year, if I'm
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. So that will be a much needed rest for them, especially, as it looks week 17, they're going to come have that huge matchup with the Seattle Seahawks up in Seattle. But still, that was a fun game. 2 really good football teams. Shocking that they let up that many points. I mean, these are 2 of the better defenses in football. But I think it was the first time all year they faced offenses that really had scheme, good player, good offensive line, and kind of took the fight to the defense for the first time all year where, hey, I got to give Drew Brees a lot of credit too. One of the things I complain about with him and the Saints is a little bit of a lack of, plus 10, plus 15, plus 20-yard throws in a football game. He did that, especially early on, which I think backed off San Francisco a little bit and took their aggression away to go, oh, okay, well, we can't crowd the line of scrimmage with Drew today. He's kind of pushing the ball down the field, and it might not be rockets, but it's effective, and that certainly helped out their offense early on.
There's so many good teams in the NFC this year.
Yeah.
It's a shame that a team like the Saints having a special season, they may end up playing wild card weekend the way things are going. A team like the Vikings that are 9-4, they could be 12-4 and be the 6th seed.
Right.
It's just amazing to see how that's all playing out. Of course, one of the problems is you have one of the worst divisions we've ever seen, and they're guaranteed to put a team in a spot where they're going to have a home playoff game. But there's your NFC East breakdown there. It stinks top to bottom. The rest of the NFC, pretty good, though. And, it's going to come down to Week 17, 49ers Seahawks.
Yep.
The winner's going to most likely be the 1 seed. The loser's going to be the 5 seed. The playoffs are going to be more interesting in the NFC if the 49ers are the 5 seed. Because the 49ers are the 1 seed.
Yeah.
They win both games at home and they go to the Super Bowl. If they're the 5 seed, they're going to have to, go on the road, and I think the games are going to be better.
So
better
what you're saying is you think the 49ers are clearly the better team in the NFC.
I think that if they would have the 1 seed, they're more likely to win the 2 games at home and advance.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm with you there too. But the good thing is for a team like the Saints, right? You're on the road. If you do get, whatever, you get the 2 seed or 3 seed, whatever it may be, and you have to play San Francisco in the NFC Championship game, it's not a horrible environment for a team and a quarterback who's don't always have a great reputation for playing outdoor games in the playoffs and bad elements. It won't be bad elements in San Francisco that time of the year. It won't be that bad. So I do think that if we saw these 2 teams play each other again, we could see, another that type of performance, 35-31, something like that from both of them, where it'd be a lot of fun, and who knows who comes out on top.
And remember that epic game between the 49ers
That's what I was kind of thinking.
and the Saints. That was a Candlestick in 2011.
Right.
But there's going to be, divisional round, right? Wild card round is always exciting, but the one thing that always nags me during wild card weekend is the notion that all 4 of these winners may be done by next weekend. But the divisional round, it's going to be more special.
You feel like it's the
year.
best 8.
It's going to be more special this year than I think it's been in a long time.
Yeah, well, I think the all 4 number 1 seeds, or number 1 and number 2 seeds, all 4 first-round bye teams, I think we're all going to look at it and go, oh, they're very deserving of being there. They clearly are, one of the 4 best teams in football. And, might be, a little bit close with the Seahawks if they're just outside of it, or the Packers, to where we go, oh, well, now the wild card game, the divisional game, we're going to have something special there.
Yeah, but what's beautiful about it is we still don't know who those teams that are going to get the buys
I mean, hey, the Packers, they could lose to the Bears this week. Let's be serious. What have the Packers done lately? And everybody out there knows I love Aaron Rodgers. Come on. But, what have they done lately to give you confidence to go, wow, Green Bay is they're really something special. They
if
just
you're
find
special,
a way to win.
You don't let Washington hang around.
No doubt about
the way
it.
They did yesterday.
Who the heck did they let them hang around last week? Oh, the Giants. It was 17-13 in the 4th quarter. Again, so I'm not going to sit here yet and go, oh, yeah, Green Bay's definitely in the cream of the crop. They're finding ways to win. They have a schedule that's kind of favorable to them, and they have a quarterback who knows how to mess a game up and make